Hello, it's Nikki. How are you? I'm a personal branding coach. I'm a writer, a speaker, a podcaster, an actor, a lover of the portfolio career. And on this channel, this podcast, I talk about all of those things to do with being a personal brand, making a plan, making it happen, earning money, getting visible, all of those lovely components that, for the most part, lots of people don't actually tell you how to do. They just tell you to think positively, but I'm here for the tangible tips. Anyway, the thing that I wanted to share today doesn't actually come from me. I heard it on another podcast, and that podcast was with Ed Mylett, and he seems to be some sort of coach and does lots of different things. You can go and research him if you like. But this one sentence that he came up with, it felt like it poked me between the eyes, like, oh yes, oh, okay, I get it. And I love podcasts for those moments because they stop you in their tracks and everything can change in an instant. And I'm going to read what this man said. I can't teach you to drive a parked car. I can't teach you to drive a parked car. And at that moment, I was like, of course you can't. Because I've actually got to turn the engine on. And I've got to be willing to get into the car. I've got to be willing to put my glasses on if I need to. I've got to be willing to have a good look round in my mirrors before I set foot going on. And it really struck me in terms of this personal branding world because we seem to know what everybody else is doing out there, or that kind of beautifully highlighted, beautiful sort of show reel of highlights, let's say. But for the most part, a lot of people are sharing stuff. A lot of people are sharing their numbers or the opportunities that they're getting or behind the scenes or how they did things or how perfect their family are or their area of expertise, all of this stuff. And it can be very easy to sit back and look at all of that and go, feels a lot. Like, how am I ever going to get there? How am I ever going to be anywhere close to actually making my reality come true, to creating success for myself? And we never really had this like years ago before social media. We might see our neighbour who suddenly had a brand new car. It's like, oh, they're doing well. They've got a brand new car. Or somebody that you meet in the supermarket and they've just come back from their amazing holiday. But for the most part of seeing that behind the scenes, of seeing in people's houses or going away with somebody on a trip or seeing what their followers are connecting with, we weren't privy to that information previously. So what can happen is the more that we can see that, it can go two ways. We can look at something and go, wow, okay, so if they're doing it, maybe it's possible for me as well. Maybe I could do something similar, like not exactly the same, but maybe I could add a new layer to my business, or maybe they know the person that I need to connect with. So, that's food for thought. And sometimes that comes from a point of jealousy of like, oh, how come they got that? But again, Emily Williams always says this is like, pay attention to that jealousy. If somebody has kind of like made your ear go up suddenly, that it's trying to tell you something in that way. Or the flip side could be that you get into that negative space of victimhood and go, right, okay, well, it's all right for them, or everything is being taken now of, oh, right, okay, so that was the life coach person that was chosen for that event. Obviously, I'm not welcome there. Or you can go into that spiral as well. So we're doing those responses based on our own assumptions and based on that slice of the whole picture that we are privy to being seen. So going back to this initial thing of, I can't teach you to drive a parked car, you have to consider what the next steps are for you and how you can actually get that car, your business, your brand, into first gear and moving along. Now, your business, your brand, it may be moving along beautifully, actually. It may be doing exactly what it needs to do. But maybe you're ready for the motorway. Maybe you're ready to like take over the cars and like rule the road a little bit for a while, or maybe create your own sort of cool direction that you want to go in. I'll start with the car analogies in a second. But what will happen and what you will find is none of that will happen whilst you're static, whilst you're not moving. You can't physically feel what that feels like in a static position. You have to move forward. And sometimes that starts from just a little tiny or little painful. You know, when people are learning to drive and they're like, oh gosh, do I even go into second gear now? Oh my goodness, oh gosh, I've gone over 18 miles an hour. This feels really uncomfortable. If you're feeling all of those feelings, it's all right. But what you have to know is that you're making progress. You're making much more progress than you would have been if you just sat in the car and gone, I can't do it. I'm not turning the engine on. I don't want to do that. Yes. So where are we? We need to move our cars. We need to get into motion. We need to build momentum, because that's when you're going to start to figure stuff. That's when you're going to see the new things around you. That's when you're going to get that confidence of going, oh, actually, I was going a bit faster than I thought. Or I put my indicator on time that time. That was great. Okay, lovely. My teacher's happy with me, or my coach or my trainer or whoever it might be. But you have to get into movement, into momentum. So my challenge for you today is think about the place that you're allowing yourself to be parked in. Think about what is actually going on for you and consider how you can start to move forward. Today may be the day where you literally pull out your parking space, have a good look round, and then you get back in the parking space. That may be all it is for today. But if you're feeling like you've got energy, that you've got ideas, that you've got momentum, that you've got flow, go for a drive, enjoy it, explore it, let the whole thing play out and really enjoy the process. As always, I would love to know what you think and what was most helpful about this, I guess, and what you're going to do today to get that car moving and shaking. Well, not shaking, just moving. As always, check all the details down below. There's lots of lovely freebies. You can book a free session. But if you're ready and you're like, okay, I need to get this moving, I know this one thing that I need to master, go onto my website and you can pull down the drop down where it says need help with, and I'll be able to direct you to lots of really great resources to help you move forward. Thank you so much for watching. Please tag me in your stories if you've enjoyed this. Send it to somebody who you know may be just sitting in a car park somewhere, metaphorically, or maybe not. And I will see you again very soon. See ya.